So I'm here with Mr. CJ Armstrong. He's going to be fighting.
Yo.
He's going to be fighting. Oh, it's the 23rd. I want to say the 23rd of
Yeah.
August, isn't it, as well? So you're going to be fighting Daniel. You're going to be fighting for a belt as well. It's a very good fight. Daniel's a very good fighter. Thank you very much for joining me. How are you feeling about returning to the show where you made your debut and made such a big statement to now fight for a title?
Oh, amazing. I remember when I first won and knocked the guy out. I was at the back with Steven and I was like, I'll be fighting for a title here. And I said like Arnaud and stuff, like I want to win my first title here. And I told the boys like I'll be fighting for a title in here. And then no, I am. It's buzzing like it's like I never thought when I joined MMA I would get this even get I never thought I'd even fight. The fact to even fight for a title, like it means everything to me, like so I've been taking it very seriously, like
Yeah, no, it's
buzzing.
mad. Did you obviously you're in hybrid ARDS with Arnaud. Um, when did you come into MMA? Like what brought you to MMA? And because you said you didn't want to compete, and then what changed your mind to competing?
Yeah. What brought me to MMA? To be honest, when I was like 14, I was obsessed with wrestling, doing Brock Wrestler.
Yeah.
And then he went to MMA. I didn't know what that was. I was like, oh my God, this is real. Or actually, I was like, ah, but this is actually real. I was like, and then after I was obsessed. And then I didn't back when I was like 16. That was when and it was only Andy, and he didn't have an actual spot, so he kept on changing locations. So I went once, but I had no car, so I couldn't commit to it. And then about not last October, but the other October, I saw it. They were advertising again, and I just said there, right, I'm just gonna start it. And then as soon as I went, I was hooked. I was obsessed with it.
And then like
Loved
once
it.
you kind of got in and you were hooked, did you know then you wanted to compete, or was that did that take a while to kick
Yeah,
in, or what way did
yeah.
how did that come about?
I didn't know. I always wanted thought I could compete, but I didn't know if I could because when I first started, all I done was lift weights, and I was like over 100 kg. I was like stiff as a board. But then one spot, I was like I couldn't move. I was like a big brick. And then after one sparring session, Arnold came with me and said like, "There's sort of potential in you if you really want to try." And I was only on like 2 sessions a week, and after that, I was like, "All right, I got the gold." I don't know if he done that just to get me signed up, but I know. But after that, I went. I just been balls to the wall. I've been training every day, and then Fit the Fight came up, and I was really training for it. And then he offered, and he says, "I think you're ready for it." And then they put me through it. I loved it. I thought it was the best feeling, especially after I went. It was like the best feeling in the world. Like,
Yeah, the Fit to Fight, I really like that, and the fact that you got your start there. What I liked about the Fit to Fight show, and it probably benefited you going into like doing amateur fights then as well, is you don't see many events that there's a huge amounts of novice at. Usually at a show like Akuma, there'll be maybe four or five at the start, but Fit to Fight is predominantly novice.
yeah,
And it's predominantly novice, and but it gives you. Did you find that it gave you that feel for an event though before you got to Akuma? Because
yeah,
sometimes like people go to like the junior league, the MMA, the national or
yeah,
the MMA leagues in Dublin, and it's like cages all over the place. It's not really,
yeah.
it's an event, but it's not like an event. Did that help you then going into Akuma to deal with
Yeah.
the what happens at an event?
Yeah, well, I only had like 6 months training, and then I done the Fit to Fight, and I was meant because I was novice. There was meant to be amateurs, but the whole like, but so I was meant to fight really early, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. But I don't know, it just went on for ages, and I didn't fight about 9 o'clock, near 10. So it was crazy for me, like fighting so late. But then it got me used to it because when I'm in Cuba now, and then when I fought in Akuma, I fought late, and I was used to it. And then now in this show, if it's a title fight, so it'll be one of the last ones probably, so it'll be late again. So it helped a lot getting used to it and dealing with the nerves in the back and stuff.
Yeah, because I think that's a whole nother animal in itself. Like fighting is one thing, but I don't think people realize when they go from novice to amateur, like the event is an animal in itself because you have to get you know yourself, you have to get your hands
Yeah,
wrapped. You need the time when you're warming up, when you're refuel, like what you're refueling at what time depends if it's day of weigh-in or day before. And there's so much to it. So do you feel that obviously helps you going into that, which is a big help going forward, but with Akuma, fighting on Akuma and getting the win in the manner that you did, how did that feel for your amateur debut to like at such a
oh,
big show?
oh, it was amazing. Like, like you saw in your video, I lost it now because they got hacked. But
Yeah.
I have I didn't know what to do. I was like, the adrenaline was through me. It started just started headbutting the kids. I just saw it was amazing because my whole family came and saw me. So like just to get the win and like get it finished, like I made a statement, and then the Energized boys and stuff were talking about it, so like it was good. Like it made a statement, and that's what got me this title shot basically because it was good. And I was amazing. There's no better feeling. Like that's what I want to do again. Get another big finish. Get
It's,
like
I actually remember when you entered it, you had a massive following. I actually remember that at the because I think it was like I believe it was your mother. I think she was she on the video as well, screaming? She was,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
she?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She was.
I'll actually see because that might be still in the phone here somewhere
Yeah,
because that would have been
yeah.
a year ago. So I get an upgrade every 2 years, so that might be still on the phone. So it might not be lost.
Yeah.
It might not
Oh
be
yeah.
lost.
See, when I was see after I won, I went at the back, and you have to do like a medicals again at the back. I was sitting there, Arnaud was talking to me with the doctor, just going through whatever. And next thing I just hear, "Go on, my son, go on, my." My mom just shoved all security, started running through. There's a big, massive curtain, just busted the curtain. Oh, just go on. I was like, Arno, control her. I was like, because the guy, I was because somebody met there, security's freaking out. She just free everyone about. I was like, oh, it was funny. Like, it was so funny. Like,
It's good to have that support though as well because a lot of people when they go into MMA because it's not looked on favorably in a lot of circles still at the moment. It's still quite like
yeah,
people think MMA like obviously the UFC is big and all, but in the grand scheme of things, it is still quite niche when you think about it compared to baseball, soccer, GA, all those not G well it's bigger than GA, but you get me with like all the kind of big sports. It's still quite niche. What's it like to have the support like that from your parents? Because sometimes people when they go to MMA their parents like, oh, I'm not sure about that. You might get hurt, but sure, you could walk out the door and get hit by a bus. Like, what's it like
yeah.
having the good support?
Oh, it's amazing. Like, they hate to do it. Like, my fiance, they don't like to do it, but like they know how much like especially my fiance, she's been really good because we're moving house at the minute. So I've been like putting training first at the minute. Which it's probably not a good thing, but she understands and she's been like so helpful about it. And, like they're all so supportive and they know how much it means to me. And like oh, it is a dream for me to do this stuff. Like I never thought I'd be able to do this. And then now I can actually do it. And it's like the only thing I've ever really committed to. I have no need to just give up on something or to say, ah, no, it's not for me. But this is like the first thing I've ever committed to, and actually it's all working out. So at the sport, it means everything to me. Like they're my mom, it's just mental. It's just
It's good
crazy.
though.
Like
It's good. I'd
yeah,
rather have that kind of support than no support. I know you're thinking yourself sometimes like it's a bit much get her back from
yeah.
behind the curtain, but look,
Uh,
it's good to see the enthusiasm coming out though, and you're obviously you're in Hybrid ARDS. You're with Arnaud. Talk to us about what it's like there. You're on a pretty good run at the minute. I think in your last like I want to say 15 fights. I think there was 11 wins. I think that was before something along those lines. What's it like being there at the minute? Because there's a current crop coming through now, like yourselves and a couple of others. Dominic Rose is someone who I've been very impressed with as well. All the stuff
yeah,
kind of Mel has done on the female side of stuff as well, and fight like starting fighting so late as well. It seems to be a gym where like Arno, he is a coach as well, but he seems to be a real kind of mentor type person to people and someone that you can go to if you're he seems to be real close to all you can you expand on your relationship with Arno if you're comfortable?
yeah. Oh no, me and R were very close. Like that's like he'd be one of the main reasons I'm even sticking out. Like him as a coach, like he just cares. He just cares a lot. Like when I before I was only about 5 months in, I was in a car accident. And that was back when Andy and him were coaching us. And he was texting me and stuff, making sure I was all right and all that type of stuff. But me and him, but the way he coaches everyone, as soon as we moved the yards, it's basically been like everyone's leveled up ridiculously. Just because we're just doing the same thing every week and we're drilling. And even his wife as well, Haley, she's amazing too. Like she's so supportive. Like they literally treat you like your own. Like they would text you and all and make sure you're all right. Like I couldn't fault them if I tried. Like
It,
and
it
they'd be
sounds like
smiling.
a real family. Everyone says
Mm.
we're family, but that does sound like
Yeah,
a
it
real
is.
family.
It is like all the boys are starting to peak now. Like, well, I'd be a bit behind. I would have started later than them all, but now then like I can see them all. Like, there's like Dale, Meach, and Tom, and like Dom. Like they're all starting to come through now, and like it's amazing to see that because because I've seen them at the start, and now they're all like getting class. It's just a shame about Dom by his shoulder, but 'cause he was on fire in the gym, like he's smashing. He's throwing me up in the air like that.
Yeah, well, that'd be a hard thing to do, especially when you look at the weight
Yeah,
difference as well.
he's a freak. He's an animal. It's crazy. Like,
I find it like when he started, obviously his technique wouldn't have been as good as some of the people he was fighting. But what I found was like obviously his technique has got better and is very good now. But what
yeah,
I
yeah,
found was that caught people out was his aggression. I don't think people expected him to be so aggressive, and it caught them off guard. And he's just dogged. He's like he was winning that. He's taking down. He's getting the ground and pound. It was just whatever he lacked at the start for technique, he made up in heart and doggedness, and then now that's leveling up, and that's why I was so excited to see this fight, especially against Alex, who's a fantastic fighter, because it's just because you can see the different stages. But you've got this fight coming up, and you're not looking past your opponent. Are you looking
yeah.
to compete again before the end of the year, or are you just concentrating on what's in front of you in 2 weeks or a week and a half now at this stage?
I'm concentrating on next Saturday because I know Daniel's good and I know he's a good gym too. They're good fighters there, so I know it's gonna be a good fight. But I'm hoping to fight in November. Either be Chaos or Raf, whichever one I get matched. One of them. Whatever happens, I would still want to be fighting in November time and then take a wee break and then come back in the new year.
Yeah, take the Christmas break because there's not.
Yeah,
I'd say
yeah,
there'd be not.
yeah.
I'd say there's nothing worse than going to a camp over Christmas. I'd say that is probably one of the most disgusting things you could do as a fighter. But um, talk to us about like obviously you're looking at Daniel, and I know it's for because it's for a title. You're gonna look at kind of what he does good and where you might think he has deficits in.
Yeah.
But at your early stage, do you look at the fighters more and what they're doing, or are you just trying to implement your own style and rhythm to
Uh,
fight?
yeah, well, I'll be honest. Yeah, I do go back and watch his fights and stuff, but it's amateur. Like he'd be stupid to think if he watches my last fight, my loss. If he goes back and thinks that's the way I'm gonna be, he'd be stupid because there's been such a gap. I just know we're both gonna be much better. And I'll look at his fight see if there's a wee similar thing, but there's nothing. This he seems all around a good fighter, like so. There's nothing. If it was pro and stuff, I would be care more in that. But amateur, people progress too much. Like you could be surprised how much someone can progress in 2 months, if you know what I mean. So like you could be well better in the space of 2 months.
Yeah, like you could be a completely different fighter, and that's why I always ask
Yeah,
amateur fighters because I would say like I wouldn't focus on them, I'd focus on you, kind of stamp your own
yeah,
style and what you
yeah,
obviously if he has a good overhand that he chose at a certain time
yeah, like,
or something like that,
yeah,
but
yeah. The definitely like, all the BB things like oh, I'd say make up. He's always throwing leg kicks. He's always like, oh, okay, there's a wee thing that we look out for. But like that's like stuff like that you can maybe say, or if he's always the way he always goes for that takedown, he always goes for that. Not you rep that out how to defend that, like that type of stuff. But that really is not really the case. I'm just like Arnold is as Arnold does. It's all about us, like yourself, and about imposing what you can do and like how and your own skill sets. When you think about them too much, especially in amateur, it gets to your head, and then you start stressing out, and freaking out, and then you make it much bigger than it is. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I think if you're tailoring your style to defend someone else's style, you'll never get into a rhythm or create your own kind
Yeah,
of fighting style. And like that, if you do go out and do your fighting style and maybe you lose or something like that, at least you go, okay, I can fix that. But this is how I'm going to go forward in every fight. And like I said,
yeah,
until it comes to pro, you're not going to go too heavy into the detail. That's when, like, if you're fighting for a title as a pro, you might go get not a little bit more defensive, but you might look at those things. Whereas now,
yeah, no, definitely, yeah,
it's not something you'd look at. But obviously, so you're gonna have this fight coming up in about 10 days now. It's a really, really good show. How do you find the show? And I presume you were delighted when you got the phone call to say you were for title. Like what how did you find how the show ran and stuff like that and actually fighting on it with the crowd?
yeah. Class. I love the crowd. I actually went to the last one. I was meant to fight the last one, a light heavyweight, but the guy missed weight. He was like over 100 kg, so I couldn't do the fight. That's why I went down to light heavyweight. I went down to middleweight because I never weighed in 93. I was always 91. So that's why I went down to middleweight because I have still have to cut a wee bit, but I just feel much better. But to go back on that. Um, what'd you say there? Sorry, sorry.
What like
What was
how what's your relation like with Steven and what's it like
Oh
fighting
yeah, the call.
on
Yes.
Akuma?
Yeah. So when I was at the show last, it was like a guy called Ryan Dunn or something was fighting, and he won. And it was a middleweight fight. And then Arnaud comes up to me and pulls me aside here, news. I was like, title fight. I was like, who? I was like, seriously? And he's like, yeah. And he said, Rand. He's like, you fight Rand Dunn. And I was like, oh. I was like, fucking right. I was like, happy days. I was like, I was fucking buzzing. I was surprised, obviously. But he was just saying, like, you got a big finish last time you were on the show and you were meant to fight there. And he pulled out on you. So yeah, it's going to be a middleweight. And I was like, no problem.
And were you finding it hard to get matched at light heavy, or was it just because you were kind of coming in underweight? And because like that, if you're coming in underweight and there's boys cutting to get to it, like you're going to see the difference in the size. Like, what was the reason to go into middleweight? Was it just because you were weighing in so light?
Yeah, I was waiting. So I was meant to fight on Raf, but I couldn't do it. But the boy in Raf was asking to meet me at 105. I was like, fuck, I can't even make. I'm not barely making 93. I was like, fuck me. I was like, but he said, and then he's like, but then he said something about he can still make 90. He still make 93. I was like, fuck, that's a big cut for him. But like that's the type of guys you be fighting like the way which I don't care. Like I'm happy enough to fight anyway, because it never really bothered me. Like my debut, he was overweight, but I still took the fight. Like he missed weight, and I said that's okay. But just because just want to be a bit smarter, I'm glad I do because now I'm like in the best shape I've ever been in my life. To be honest with you, and like I'm so much faster, and my cardio's through the roof. Like I'm glad I made the decision, and especially I just feel so much better now. To be honest.
I'd say it does because like that as you were going to go into pro, that would be kind of the weight that you'd have to fight because you know yourself as you go to pro when stuff means more lads are cutting, you'd have lads cutting for mad weights to come down for a weight that you're barely making, and
Yeah,
there's a lot more variety and options I think as you come down into the lower weights like the likes of obviously the smaller weights have a huge ones, but like that middleweight has a lot more than like heavyweight and heavyweight because there
yeah,
might be about five or six heavyweights in the country. Do you know that sort of way? And then light
yeah.
heavyweights is there's not too much more, but middleweight, you've got people who like that might come down, might come up, or you could meet in the middle. But how you like? Do you have to cut much? How are you finding coming down for the middleweight?
Dead on. Um, my big PT, call right. He's been taking me. He's been doing my dad, my S&C, the strength conditioning. So he's been sorting me out. And like, honestly, I haven't been. I'm not starving myself or nothing like that. I'm eating like 4 meals a day. They're all packed out with protein and carbs, all that type of stuff. I feel great. I'm not. It's not a big cut. I could probably make welterweight if I'm honest, but that's for pro if I ever. That's down the line. That'll be a big cut, but I could see myself making that down the line. I'm glad I made down the middle bit. I just feel much better. Like even in the gym now, I'm moving like the way I'm moving and stuff is just I feel class. I just can't wait. I'm just like because of my last fight, I'm just dead excited now. I don't even care it's for a title anymore. I just want to go out there and perform next week. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I said, I think obviously because you've come down to the middleweight, like you said, you're still eating, but you're putting the right things into your body. I'd say you
Yeah,
feel better, your energy levels are better, you feel fitter, like cardio, etc. And it'll be good to see what you're like at middleweight. I'm gonna let you go and thank you so much for joining me today. Best of
yeah.
skill on the title fight. Is there anything you want to say before you go, or anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I just want to shout out again my personal trainer, Call Right Fitness. He's just been helping me so much over the past 8 weeks, and he's got me down an animal. He's got me down like an animal. So next week, I can't wait to perform. A big shout out to my coach Arnaud and all that training me. It's been so much helpful, and I can't wait to show the work we've all been in.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you fight again. I want to wish you best of skill, and I
Thank
will
you, mate.
talk to you soon. And thank you again for your time.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.